What's happening, people? Good morning, America, and welcome everyone to our live stream. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV in an effort of bringing the financial markets to your doorstep and help each and every one of you make informed decisions about investments and the amazing CFDs markets. Big welcome, everyone. I see we have quite a few viewers today. The episode today is proudly sponsored by our partners at forexchandmarkets.com. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel and support us in delivering more great content. 5 days left to U.S. elections. Oil prices drop on oversupplied markets. Gold futures turned its back to the upside, trading below $1,900 per ounce. What will happen with the markets next week? Who will win the presidency of the United States? Starting Monday morning, guys, we have an avalanche of industry experts that will bring the latest news to your doorstep. There we go. We start the week strong with Mark Priest, head of trading at ETX Capital on Monday. Then we're going to have João Monteiro, guys, founder and CEO at Forexy. On Tuesday, guys, we're going to start the day with Neil Wilson. And on Wednesday, guys, the day only gets better with Alex Katsar, CEO at TopFX, Tier 1 liquidity provider. This is what is happening next week. Keep an eye on InstructFX on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch TV, and don't miss out. Let's see what is happening in the markets today, guys. We have a very big day in the markets. We saw the US dollar rallying today after the GDP and the initial jobless claims came out better than expected, sending all the other assets in red. The Red Sea continued today with crude oil futures trading as low as $35.51 a barrel. Gold futures tanked again, trading as low as $18.63. European currencies also headed lower ahead of the ECB interest rate decision today, which was announced earlier on and kept at 0%. And Bitcoin, guys, gave back over $800 since yesterday. Very busy day in the economic calendar with mixed signals and lots of announcements. The US dollar rallied today after the GBP announcements. And U.S. stock markets are waiting for Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Alphabet to report their quarterly figures after the markets close today. We are exactly 5 minutes ahead of the U.S. opening, guys. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar and see how the markets and what moved the markets today. Yeah, we started the day. Let's start counting from 9 o'clock in the morning, guys. We started with announcements on the pound, which weren't, they did not release any actual. We saw a couple of announcements from Spain, in the Eurozone, which both came out negative. No wonder after Spain announced a state of emergency and they went into full lockdown. Then we had the German unemployment change, which came out a negative 35,000, and the German unemployment rate, which took consensus by surprise, coming out 1 point below consensus expectations and dropping to 6.2%. After that, guys, we had the GDP year over year and the GDP price index, which came out positive. Also, the initial jobless claims on the US dollar came out positive too, 751,000. Versus an expectation of 775,000, and versus the previous, which was 791,000. There you go. We have the deposit facility rate announced. Sorry, guys, my bad. The ECB, where is it? Oh, yes, the ECB, the interest is kept at 0%. Sorry, I got a bit confused by deposit facility rate and the marginal lending facility, which is kept at 0.25% on a positive. Shortly after that, we have the German consumer price index, which again came out positive, guys, above consensus expectations of a negative 0.1%. We saw a positive 0.1% announced. Now, in 2 minutes, guys, we're going to have building permits and the ECB press conference that will start shortly. Let's see the impact that will have on the euro. We are expecting in 32 minutes pending home sales, guys, a 3-star announcement on the US dollar, which is forecasted to come out at positive 3.4%. Okay, let's see what will happen if that's the case. We are 4 minutes ahead of the US opening. Let's have a quick look at some articles just ahead of the opening and see what happened today. U.S. stocks are seen mixed today amid caution after the hefty sell-off of the previous session as the earnings season continues at a hectic pace with a key gauge of economic growth set to be released later. At 6:55 a.m. Eastern Time, the S&P 500 futures traded 5 points or 0.2% lower. The Dow futures contract fell 111 points or 0.4%, while the Nasdaq 100 futures climbed 34 points or 0.3%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 3.4% lower yesterday at a 3-month low, while the S&P 500 index lost 3.5%. And the Nasdaq Composite Index as well fell 3.7%, both to 1-month lows. Very, very big drops, guys. Usually when they drop under 1 point, or around 1 point. And to see a drop of 3.7 points or 3.5 points in one day, it's a huge, huge movement from the markets. The Dow has closed the lower 4 days in a row, its longest losing streak since February, and these indices are on course for their worst week in 7 months. Only 2 minutes ahead of the US opening, guys. Confidence as things stand right now is fragile with 5 days to go before the presidential election amid worries over rising numbers of COVID infections and tougher lockdowns with little chance of a new stimulus package in the near future. Investors looking for positive catalysts will look to the ongoing earnings season with a total of 70 companies from the S&P 500 due to report today. The oil sector had a dreadful time during the pandemic. ConocoPhillips is due to report before the bell after European rival Royal Dutch Shell raised its dividend earlier today as it reported a larger than expected profit for the third quarter. Bear with me for a second, guys. Let me bring... Right, there we go. Okay, now we have the U.S. opening on the screen. It's going to happen any minute now. I'm just going to go ahead reading through this article, and I'm going to keep an eye on the opening so we can ring the bell together, guys. A number of high-tech giants are scheduled to report earnings today after closing bell, including Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, and Facebook. Investors will also be looking for some good news from the preliminary estimate of U.S. third quarter GDP, which came out at a record 33%. The weekly report of initial jobless claims also came out. Okay, and oil prices retreated today as traders returned to fretting about the outlook for global demand in the wake of a new COVID-driven restrictions in Europe after the impact of Hurricane Zeta weakened a bit. Additionally, U.S. Energy Information Administration data yesterday showed U.S. crude stockpiles rose by 4.3 million barrels last week. Bear with me for a second, guys. I lost Bloomberg again. There we go. Right. U.S. crude futures traded 4.3% lower at $35.80 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent oil contract was down 3.9% at $38.06. Both contracts fell around 5% on Wednesday. Very, very big drop. Now, we're not going to ring the bell, apparently, for the U.S. markets opening as the ECB meeting is starting as we speak, guys. You can see it on the screen. So Bloomberg decided to broadcast the ECB meeting instead of ringing the bell for the U.S. markets opening. But I'll tell you what, guys, nothing stops us from ringing the bell. It's 1 minute after 3:30 GMT plus 2. The U.S. markets should be open by now. So welcome, everyone, to the U.S. trading session. Let's have a quick look at the charts, guys, and see how the markets move today. Bloodbath today. The bloodbath continued on the charts. We are looking at crude oil trading at $35.16. What a massive, massive drop for crude oil. Sorry, $35.20 as it stands right now. With the RSI and the stochastic way in the oversold territories, not indicating any sort of strength. Now we are looking at the euro US dollar, guys, which I'm going to move it to a 5-minute chart. To manage to catch a bit of volatility, to see how the volatility looks like as soon as the ECB meeting starts. Still, nothing happened yet. Christine Lagarde, the ECB president, did not start speaking yet. So We see euro still trading at 117.03. Again, big losses for the euro today as well. Have a look, guys. Yeah, what happened in the last few hours since the European opening? Again, the RSI and the stochastic are way in the oversold territories. The pound also shed quite a few pennies today, trading at 129.31 as things stand right now. The USD JPY, guys, the USD JPY pushed a bit higher today, testing the 50 moving average. This is what I was telling you about this morning and also yesterday. That's why it's a good idea to learn how to use the moving averages, because many times you're going to have the assets testing one of the two moving averages. Okay, and as things stand right now, we see the US dollar bouncing off the 50 moving average, yeah, and heading lower with RSI and stochastic turning around and pointing downwards. The Aussie dollar again shed a lot of gains, guys. In the last few trading sessions, we can see the huge drop that happened to the Aussie dollar on the Asian session as well as on the European trading session. Today, trading now at 0.7023. The USD Canadian, guys, there you go. The fantastic rally of the USD Canadian bouncing off the 50 moving averages. I was telling you this morning, this is the slingshot effect, which sometimes happens on the markets when, especially in times like this, yeah, when you have a lot of news coming in the economic calendar, a lot of things happening. So this is the slingshot effect that you see right here, guys. Yeah. We see the US dollar coming back down very close to the 50 moving average. Yeah, apparently testing the 50 moving average. And then there's the slingshot effect. Here we can see it shooting higher and higher, currently trading at 133.73. Quick look at the S&P 500, guys, which apparently opened on a positive note today. Yeah, we can see it opening slightly higher than the market closing yesterday. There you go. I'm just going to decrease the time frame to a 5-minute chart so you can have a better view. Yeah, apparently positive opening today on hopes, yeah, that the giants that will release their quarterly numbers today will boost the S&P 500. Yeah, we have 70 companies announcing today. Let's have a quick look at the Dow Jones, guys, and see what is happening with the Dow Jones. You see, the same thing couldn't be said about Dow Jones. We see a negative opening on the Dow as things stand right now. Let me decrease it to a 5-minute chart. Yeah, so the opening was negative. A lot of selling pressure as you see on this candlestick. Yeah, the previous candlestick. For the moment, we see a green candlestick, but again, little to no volume on the markets. Nothing is happening. There's no volatility on the markets. As it stands right now, we are looking at Apple, guys, which opened on a positive note. We're looking at Amazon, which is expected to announce its quarterly numbers after closing today. So not a lot of happiness around Amazon. Let's see what's going to happen. We see Nvidia opening higher, sharply higher, with the RSI and the stochastic pointing upwards. The downside is the gold cross that's being formed by the 50 and the 200 moving average, guys. That usually indicates a lot of selling power, So we might see, for example, Nvidia going up for a bit, testing the 200 moving average and then being rejected towards the downside. Yeah, we're going to see the slingshot effect towards the downside. This is a potential result. Okay, let's have a quick look at the US dollar index, which, again, just like the USD Canadian, guys, it traded slightly lower this morning, and the slingshot effect, it worked again. Yeah, we see a gold cross being formed there, and there is the result. So there's the proof, guys. Even though the moving averages that you're using, yeah, the 50 and the 200 moving average are lagging indicators, they will still give you a good indication. You can decrease the time frames. You can customize them for your trading purpose. If you want to go short-term trading on a short time frame, yeah, or medium to long-term, you can customize the moving averages. It's not a must that you use the 50 and the 200, but there is the proof, guys. It works, and as things stand right now, yeah, we're looking at 93.84 for the US dollar index futures, pushing gold lower, guys, pushing gold as low as 1859 or 1859.61 was the low that gold futures kicked today. Very bad what's happening with gold, guys. Again, gold started trading below the 200 moving average a few trading sessions ago. Yeah, we see a lower low at 1852. Yeah, so the gold futures got really close of hitting the previous lower low. Let's see what's going to happen today. If the US dollar will push a bit higher, then probably gold will move even lower, below the 1851. Now, looking at Brent oil futures, or UK oil, we see it dropping sharply, currently trading at 37.38, guys. Only a few days ago, we saw oil trading at $41, $42 per barrel, and now it's trading at $37.40. Amazing drop for oil. Silver futures, guys, again traded as low as $22.64 earlier on. They only started going higher slightly ahead of the US opening. It's currently trading at $23.10. Okay, again, the RSI and the stochastic, you can see at the bottom of the chart, guys, they're literally crawling through the oversold levels. Okay, probably going to see a bit of a correction, and if the US dollar index decides to keep up the uptrend, then we're going to see silver futures and gold futures very likely dropping and creating lower lows. We're looking at what else is happening on the US markets. We're looking at Tesla, guys. We didn't look at Tesla for quite a while. Tesla suffered in the last couple of trading sessions, trading lower, trading at $408.70. We're looking at Facebook, guys, which opened higher today, but as we get closer to their reporting hours, we see a red candlestick going down, and probably will aim to test the 200 moving average. Facebook is currently trading at $271.34. And Bitcoin, guys, as I was telling you earlier on, Bitcoin gave back about $500, $600 today, or in the last 24 hours, let's say. You can see the high that Bitcoin had 2 days ago. It was trading as high as 13,852. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 13,171. So the difference gave back. Again, there's another indication that the 200 moving average is a reference point for the price action. We can see Bitcoin price being rejected by the 200 moving average. So for beginner traders, guys, you might want to learn how to use how to read the moving averages. They might make your life much easier. Looking at the bottom of the chart, we can see the RSI and the stochastic turning around from the oversold sectors and pushing higher. So hopefully there's going to be a bit of good news for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will push a bit higher today, guys. Right, okay, this is what's happening with the markets today, guys. Let's have another quick look at the euro on a 5-minute chart and see what is happening once Christine Lagarde started the press conference. We can see the euro dropping, guys. Again, no good news for the euro. Probably Christine Lagarde is talking about more European countries might go into lockdown, as that was announced, and that probably is going to be very difficult for the ECB to cope with the stimulus measures that might be required after a lot of countries going into partial or total lockdown. Hey, this is what is going on. Right. Guys, join us in a few minutes. I'm coming back with Giovanni the Passive Trader and the traps that most beginner traders might fall for when they start their trading career. Okay, so stay tuned. We're coming back in 3 minutes, guys. If you're not going to watch Dumb Money with Giovanni the Passive Trader, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning at the European opening. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.